Ex-boyfriend?
The ex-boyfriend stabbed the girl to death, and he got convicted for that as well, and I think he got something like 18 years in youth detention or something like that as well, because it was under the age of 18. And also another gang in London as well, 4 individuals, a ringleader who I think was a girl, and
all this technical stuff.
it changes all the time as well.
Yeah. So this is a new mic you got then?
Because
last time it was this one, wasn't it?
No, this is the first mic we used.
Oh, okay.
It's the first mic we had, and after that we went to that one. So in terms, for example, like this mic as well, like this is the thing, you have to be really, really close as well, compared to that one. That one I feel like you could be literally over there and you still be fine. They can still, it just picks it up so well, it's unbelievable. But this one you have to kind of be like, you have to be close to it, you have to be a lot more close to it as well.
Yeah, but sometimes you see them guys talk and their mics is like there.
They're literally there, right in front of it. They don't care, they don't care.
Yeah, and like I said, but if it's set up in such a way where you have like a table and you kind of set up in a way, then if it's there you don't mind. But if you're like lounge back, you have to bring it all the way.
You'd be having to like point up and down constantly. That's crazy. But welcome to the Young Fathers podcast. We've got like a mid-intro going on there, already talking about mics and everything. But big up to you, Jay. You okay?
Yes, very good, very very good.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's been a great week actually.
Yeah,
it's been a fantastic week. Nice and relaxing. And the weather hasn't been the best, but overall it's been really good. Really good.
Okay. Cool.
I've been out for a couple of days now. Just kind of chilling out, training.
Oh, nice. To be honest, like I tried. What do you call it? I went to watch the football game. I went to watch the Arsenal game, unfortunately, which I shouldn't have done. I watched the game and everything else. And the team lost. And for a game that we really needed to win as well, it's just like,
who were they playing?
Playing Aston Villa.
What score?
2-2, and we're 2-0 up as well. But that's football anyway.
Yeah,
I don't want to get into football, but that already like started like already annoying. Like it kind of ruined my weekend a little bit.
Yeah.
But
the funny thing about football is that I used to be really into football,
Oh yeah.
And
you don't like football?
When I was a youngster,
okay,
Liverpool was my team. I used to have the whole kit, like when I was like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. Liverpool was my team. And then I moved to America and came back. And when I came back, this probably sounds a bit controversial, how I kind of changed, but when I was growing up in the late 70s and early 80s, there was a stigma of black players. They weren't treated very well. There was like black players can't handle the weather, black players are not that good, black players are this and black players are that. And then and I went away, and when I came back, I came back 2002, and at that time Arsenal was Arsenal. They had all them black players and they were doing great. And I was like, what? I've never seen a team with so many black players. It's so successful. And it took me back to those days when I was like, remember what they used to say back in the day when I was a youngster?
True.
Now look. True. So I switched allegiance. But I switched allegiance because the years that I was away, I wasn't really into football because in America you don't really hear about football so much. So it's not as if I followed it. So I didn't follow it. So when I came back, started following it again, I gravitated more towards an Arsenal. But over the past maybe 5 years or so, I used to play football. So I love football, but I just don't like...
They're just jarring right now.
I don't like this cheating stuff, Bobby. I'm telling you.
Cheating? What do you mean cheating?
Whenever time I see people play football, play football, and they get a little touch like that, it's a contact sport.
Of course.
But sometimes they'll do anything and try and get away with anything for a penalty, for this, and I must admit it's really does my head in. So I just kind of backed off a bit. So I listen to the scores and stuff like that, but. I don't follow football at all no more. I don't know who's playing who, which table, which chart. I don't follow any of it, mate.
No, I get that. To be honest, like it's one of those things. I don't know. I've always supported Arsenal, and it's one of those things. I don't know. It's just one of the things that I do on my spare time. But in the same time, when they do lose, it just ruins.
It's quite an emotional.
It ruins your whole week. It literally ruins your whole weekend. And my kids would be there looking like, Dad, why is that so annoying? I'm like, just leave me alone, not right now. Yeah, go and do what you need to do. the missus will come there and be like, oh, what's going on? Yeah, what happened? I'm like, just leave me alone. Just give my little space. but at the same time, I knew that today was going to be Trump's first day in actually office. Did you see his inauguration? Yeah.
I didn't see all of it, and I saw bits of it and stuff, but and I just find it quite amusing, if I'm being honest with you. And
oh yeah,
yeah, and I say because I think what I find shocking is that the first time Trump got into office, everybody said it was a bit of a fluke because Hillary Clinton was the favorite.
No, but she wasn't awful. She was an awful.
She thought, well. And most people thought she was the favorite. Trump going up against her, he hasn't got a chance.
Yeah.
And their arrogance got to him, and they lost, and he got in. But for 4 years later, and after Biden's been in, for them to put him back in again, I find that.
I don't think they tried to put him back in again. No, they had no choice. First, they tried. They didn't go through that whole. Let's try to have like these primary by having these other candidates trying to see if they can. Nobody was taking it seriously. And by the way, how on earth are you gonna have like a primary for the big job where most of the people in the primary themselves are constantly bigging up the guy that's not in the primary himself.
Exactly.
It's like they're already saying
just put him on a pedestal.
They're literally we can't see this guy already.
We're not going to win against him.
No.
And because we're not going to win against him, let's not waste money fighting him.
No.
Just put him up there.
It's almost like they were trying to be like his vice president already.
Yeah.
Which was a bit weird. But.
Yeah, and but I think a part of that is that they sense the sentiment of what's going on, and people just love Trump. They just love Trump, and because they just love Trump, people looked out into America and thought, "I'm not going to be this guy. It's going to cost me millions and millions to fight him, and I know I have not."
And by the way,
look at what you were hearing.
Have you looked at the stats as well? Because he nearly lost. We could have actually be talking about Harris being in power right now. Because I think there was like a few votes in certain key states in America, and if it had gone just like a few thousand votes the other way, he loses and she wins. But I feel like there's also certain things I feel like that she was also. I feel like she was also an awful candidate as well. I was like, if they really wanted to have somebody there, they should have went for maybe Michelle Obama or something. Or they should have went with somebody that actually, that actually wanted to fight a bit more. And to be honest, even her herself, she wasn't that bad. I don't want to feel as if she was bad. I just feel like certain things she kept on saying, just like,
and I think a part of what Kamala Harris' problem was is that she didn't come up with something new. She continued what Joe Biden, whatever that spiel was, she continued that. She didn't say, well, I'm going to do this. She didn't come up with anything new.
No.
It's just kind of a continuation of what Biden did, how she's going to do. And people say, no.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
But if you're going to engage people more,
show your personality.
Exactly.
Come up with some ideas.
Exactly.
Because now you're the leader.
Be more entertaining. Get the young people as well a bit more fired up a little bit. But no, she wasn't any of those things. I feel like
she was quite blase blah.
Yeah, she was just a bit boring, and especially when it comes to certain key issues where people are really, let's say for example, there's certain key issues where people are really focused on. Instead of trying to go and actually trying to tackle those issues, I think they were just trying to swerve through them most of the time as well. And also, the fact that Trump went on to every other podcast out there, that's what he was doing. He didn't go into the mainstream media. He didn't say
Joe Rogan and all
he literally, I want to go everywhere else.
Piers Morgan, he was everywhere. You know something? We're in the era where that's what you have to do.
No, honestly, the next election in America, they've learned now. They're not going to do. They're going to go on every other podcast out there to make sure that they can actually get their word out there. But I don't feel like the way they're trying to articulate themselves on the mainstream platforms, this makes no sense.
Nobody's really on the mainstream platform no more. The vast majority, and like I said, the older generation are still on the mainstream platform, but the younger generation, no. NBC's, this BBC's, no, that's just not their cup of tea. No, they've got other things to do. So you've got to look at where the people are and go where the people are. And Trump went where the people are.
Exactly.
She kind of just stayed with the usual, and it didn't really help her. And she...
No, it didn't at all.
And she lost that to a criminal. Hey, he's been convicted!
how are you gonna lose to? But at the same time, like I don't know, as a president, was it really gonna be like I don't know, was he ever gonna go to jail?
You know something, really. And the thing about he wasn't going to go to jail, but Trump said something when he was president 4 years ago, and people just laughed. But it's true. Trump said, "I couldn't walk down Pennsylvania Avenue and shoot somebody, and nobody could do anything about it. I'd get away with it." And he's 100% correct.
That's a fact, yeah.
And you know something? And it's not as if I'm saying he said this. He said this on national TV where everybody heard him saying this.
Yeah.
But everybody goes, But if that happened, he ain't going to jail.
I know. It's the same way, like here, like for example, like I don't know, the king can do the same thing. He's not going to jail.
They're going to come up with some kind. Oh, his mind was this, that.
No, regardless of any of that, it's like you just can't arrest him.
And we're going to confine him to his castle with 200 rooms. You know what I'm saying?
Let me chill.
He ain't going to jail.
Yeah,
and true. But Trump is one of those characters that American politics, I don't think they've ever seen anybody like him before.
Do you feel it would turn out to be one of the best presidents that we've ever had?
I think
because he's talking about the golden age here, and I never heard a president that comes out and makes a speech on his first day as a president of the country, comes out and says, "Oh, we're moving into this golden age of America," and it sounds so entertaining, and it sounds so like I feel like Obama was
he's a fisherman.
No, Obama was smooth. Obama was smooth. Yeah. So Obama was swagful and smooth.
Yeah.
He's just hilarious and he's a bit quirky and he's a bit hilarious and a bit charismatic as well. But at the same time, I don't know. He knows how to control it. Like I don't know.
Yeah, Trump understands the media and how the media work. But when people say what they're going to say, that doesn't really mean much to me. You can say what you want to say, but I'm going to be looking at what you're doing. Yeah?
No, true.
And Trump, whatever his policies are, because I don't know all of his policies, I'm not really interested in all of his policies, but whatever his policies are, when he was president for those 4 years,
Yeah.
During those 4 years, you know what didn't happen?
What didn't happen?
He didn't engage in any wars.
People say that all the time. That's not true.
Which wars?
It did.
Didn't he bring people back home from Afghanistan?
Yes, he did. We'll give him credit for that. No, he brought certain people. I think he made the deal for that to make sure that Biden ended up having to bring them back home.
Yeah.
However,
but he made the deal.
He made the deal for that to be able to happen. But if you look at what was happening, for example, in Africa, in Somalia, in Yemen,
never stopped.
He never stopped. The drone war was carrying on going as well at the end of the day. And also what else as well happened as well? There was that general that got shot, that got killed, in Syria. That almost like Second World War, the Third World War. It was like an Iranian top general. And
during his presidency.
And Trump was just like, nah, I was fed up with that guy. So I'm done. I'm just like, my guy, what are you saying? But no, I was like, okay, let's see how it's gonna be like. And then I feel like, and personally for me, I feel like, a lot of the things Trump says, a lot of rhetoric behind it as well, in the sense that he says things to be able to get his crowd, his base more riled up and motivated to do certain things, right? And he says the things that people want to hear.
That's the key. He says
however, if he actually sticks to those things, if he says, I'm going to make America great again, I'm going to focus on America, I'm going to try to focus all that energy instead of focusing on the rest of the world and focus on America, I think the rest of the world will be happy for it. Will be happier for it. We need America to focus on itself for a bit, right?
That's exactly what it needs to do. That's exactly what it needs to do.
Like, leave every other things else alone for a bit. Focus on what you guys need to do, right? And make your country great. Yeah.
If Trump can pull off this miraculous thing of turning America into the beautiful country that it actually is, because right now American roads sucks. Their infrastructure is not great. Their public transportation is almost zero. If Trump can look at the world, look at what's happening around the world, and say, something, we're spending billions here and billions there and trillions here and trillions there. You know something? I don't care what anybody says. A part of my legacy, I'm going to do something so radically different. But they have no choice to pay attention to me. I'm going to put some high speed, at least start the process. high-speed rail, good infrastructure, all these things to make American people start actually working again, start being able to afford food again, and doing these things. I think he'd leave such a legacy that when you look back, you'd forget about his first 4 years and you remember these 4 years. If he can pull that off. I'm not quite sure if he can pull that off.
And he's already talking about that because he was talking about how he wants to start drilling again, utilizing the energy, obviously, that they have there. Because obviously they have a lot of oil and gas. But they don't use it.
America used to be a big oil producer.
But they'd rather take the oil and gas from other countries, you know where I'm coming from. Yeah. But they have their own reserves so that they can actually utilize as well. And yeah,
do you know why they want to take it from somebody else as opposed to drilling? Because it's cheaper, they make more profits. It all comes down to profits.
Of course.
And I say, but when somebody's...
But not just that as well, you always need to keep reserves. Because when the market, let's say for example, the market becomes a situation where the people in oil that's coming from the Gulf is not coming as much as it used to, or the gas that's coming from Russia is not coming as much as you used to. Who are you
get it from?
You go, you have to come back to us then eventually. So at the same time, he's speaking the right things. For example, in terms of the industry that he wants to build over there, by re-energizing the country to be able to look at all of these other aspects. Yes, it'd be great in terms of job. I would love for a president, for example, even a prime minister here in this country, like we have here in Kyrgyzstan, to be talking in that way. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go through a revolution, right? Let's change how we used to do things for the better. Yeah. But most of the time, what we hear is we're going to maybe tweak certain things here, tweak certain things there. It's just
take a couple million from here and stick it over here, and let's steal a bit from here to pay over. That's what they do.
It's I don't know.
If Trump could pull something like that off.
Band-aid type of, of strategy in some way in terms of our politicians nowadays compared to what he does. Yeah, he tries to be a bit more bold, which I like.
And like saying, if he stops what's going on in Israel and Gaza and help to make that right, I don't think he can. I think it's too soon. But if he can do something along there, if he can build up America, get American people start working again, because one of the things that I've been looking on social media lately is how Americans are looking around the world and realizing that we can't afford food. Let me give you a prime example. My wife had a conversation with her best friend in Canada about a week or two ago.
Okay.
And they were talking about whatever they were talking about, but and they were talking about prices of things in Canada compared to America. And my wife said, I just got my husband a new, I think it's an iPhone 14.
Okay.
iPhone 14 is 25 gigabytes a month, and he's paying £28 a month. Her friend's eyes almost dropped out of her head. She says, there is no such thing in Canada.
Wow.
Minimum $100, $150 a month for that.
Wow.
My wife just got it for 28, and when she told her friend that, her friend was like, what? Americans are starting to realize, other people around the world are starting to realize that what people are paying for food and what they're paying for food, what people are paying for services and what they're paying for services, what people are paying for health and what they're paying for health.
It's skewed.
We're getting ripped off here.
No, true. But I feel like inflation has been happening around the whole world,
around the whole world,
and the economy actually in America has actually been recovering a lot more better compared to the rest of the world. But at the same time, they've always expected more. They're always used to having, that expectation of being the best of the best or having the best standard of living. So obviously, when that is squeezed a little bit due to the pandemic. And the war and the war that was happening in Ukraine as well, because people forget about the Ukrainian war and Russia as well. Yeah. That it squeezed the economy as well in terms of gas as well. I was having this debate with another person as well sometimes. In terms of energy, people don't really understand how much we utilize in terms of energy wise. I'm coming from just daily in a household, what you actually use in terms of energy, compared to other part of the world. It's ridiculous.
It's a lot.
Coming from we use a lot of energy, and
Americans use far more than what we use.
so much. And in the same time, and we expect it to be there. And it's But there's something has to.
So if Trump can address some of these things and motivate the people and lift up the people and give the people some work and stuff, then he's talking some other stuff that's a bit dubious about, rounding up people and sending them, or that kind of that. And that's it. It sounds good.
Yeah.
But the kind of numbers that they're talking about rounding up.
Immigration.
Yeah, the immigration. This is millions of people.
Yeah.
Where are these millions of people going to go? Mexico. Yeah, they're going to go back. No.
But it's just like what's happening here in the UK, like the way the previous government was trying to take most of the people that were coming through, crossing the border with those little
boats and all them
rubber dinghies
and all that. Yeah.
But at the same time, like they're sending them to Rwanda now, or they're trying to send them to Rwanda, which they haven't really quite succeeded yet. But the passing bill that was able to actually trying to start the process of collecting these people whenever they were coming here, and sending them to Rwanda to go and process the documents over there, and then bring them back here if they happen to be like a credible asylum seeker, which is insane. And America could end up doing the same thing as well. They can say, how about we can just process everybody in Panama? We can process everybody in Hawaii.
So we're going to collect up 6 or 7 million people.
Bring them to.
We're going to bring them to Panama, and somehow Panama's going to be able to handle 6 or 7 million.
We'll give them some money. Like England is doing Rwanda. Like, we'll give you a bit of money. You guys deal with that problem.
You give a bit of money, but the infrastructure and the food and the housing and the 6 or 7 million people.
It's crazy. Of course, and that's the thing as well. And of course, he's not going to do that. He's just doing that for his base. He's just trying to get them to say, yeah, he's ready, he's going to do this. And most people forget this as well. Like, what you say during election time and when you actually get into power.
Two different things, man.
Two different things. So at the same time, I don't expect him to be able to do all the things they said he was going to do anyway. But I feel the thing's going to be exciting. I think it's still going to be interesting.
Yeah, I like to say, I know.
And guys in the comments, let us know as well what you think of of our boy Trump getting into power.
Trump. And like I said, going to be making. There's going to be a lot of information for journalists.
Oh yes. No, stories.
And like I said, Saturday Night Live, they're going to be memes.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. And then I feel like I want to see which agenda he wants to go because he is that type of person that, like, when he does jump on a particular type of on a particular type of agenda, he goes on it and he doesn't leave it alone.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that looks really dubious about what's going on here is that his cabinet is filled with billionaires.
Yeah, of course, but he's a billionaire. You expect that you get people that like...
Yeah, and like say, you get people in positions that are the best for those positions. Those people there are not the best for the position. Those people are billionaires.
No, of course.
They're not the best ones for...
Of course, and it's all obviously they want to get tax cuts as well. They want to be able to get cheaper taxes as well in the day. So
you know something, but Bobby, you look at the human psyche to be able to have 200 billion and your mind, you see what I keep saying about things is all in the mind, and your mind says, I want tax cuts, I want to be able to make more. You've got 200 billion, you've got more money than countries, but your mind is saying, yeah, I've got to talk to this group of people to get tax cuts. These people down here are starving, ain't got no jobs, but that's not my concern. Tax cuts. I've got to be able to grow my business. I want more. How big do you want Meta to be? How big do you want Tesla to be? How big do you want X to be? We want it to be where I'm worth $1 trillion. Why do you need to be worth $1 trillion? Because the ego is saying, you know something, I want to go where nobody else has gone before.
Okay, give me a little bit of pushback on that. Is it wrong to want so much wealth?
It is wrong to want so much wealth when the vast majority of your so-called country women and men are living on the streets, living in their cars, can't afford groceries.
No, I get that.
And there's something deeply wrong about that. And I personally think that's a human flaw.
True.
Because yes, you have aspirations, and yes, you want to go for the best, you want to do for the best. Yeah. But as you're up here, and there's 100 people up here, and you look, I love my country, whatever your country is, and you look at your countrymen and women, and they're all starving, and they're all angry, and they're all living miserable lives. Yeah. But I'm up here.
Yeah.
There's something deeply wrong with that.
No, I get that. But I feel like it's not part of the whole, like, when you have money, you spend more money. When you have money, you want to make more money. It comes with the territory, right? So at the same time, like when you start earning a certain amount of money, or when you start living a certain type of lifestyle, it almost comes with that same stigmatization, that same pressure of making sure that you can't drop off. You can only go higher and higher. Same like even like when it comes to our kids, we would I'm sure when it comes to now, encourage our children. Like obviously, when you start your career, you want to be able to make sure you get all the way to the top, right? You want to be able to be that CEO. You want to be able to make sure you can be the head of the hospital if you're going to be even in health, right? But at the same time, it's like, yeah, it comes with a different mindset. Don't get me wrong.
Completely different mindset.
In the sense that it's hard for you not to switch off, I guess, from that determination.
When that becomes your only focus, you lose that human connection.
But what is the thing? How many people do you think those people support through making that much money? So let's say, for example, like a billionaire pay taxes. How much do you think money do you think they pay?
You know something? These billionaires and these people who go out there and have all these charities and all these things, they're helping people, but they're helping people to help themselves.
Of course.
Yeah. So it's not as if they're saying. And there was a Arsenal football player, I think it was Arsenal, that would go out into his country in Africa and build schools, and build hospitals, and build. He didn't do that because he wanted anything in return. He looked at his people and says, in this village, they've never had a brand new hospital, so I'm going to give them one. I'm not doing that, so you guys can kind of, give me £50 a week. He just did it from the love of his heart. But these billionaire people don't have that love of the heart. All they see is that wherever I'm at, I'm going to the next step and the next step. And as they're climbing higher and higher and accumulating all this wealth, it doesn't matter what their lifestyle, what they own, what they buy, they can't spend this money off. They can go and buy an island, they can go and buy a country, they can go and buy millions of cars, millions of jewelry. Doesn't matter what their lifestyle.
But this is the thing, but this is where it goes on to like a family wealth. Like it goes and gets passed down to the next generation and goes passed down to the next generation, making sure that let's say, I don't know, if you can make so much wealth that your next 3 generations don't have to worry about money again, or just have to utilize that same wealth to be able to carry on making more wealth.
That is fantastic.
That becomes like, I don't know, that's an empire right there. That's crazy.
But the thing about it, this is just my personal opinion, that passing wealth down generationally, that's something that most people can experience. You as a billionaire thinking that for your family, but the thing that you as a billionaire is lacking is saying, okay, I don't want everybody to be a billionaire like me, but there's ways of happening where regular folks can pass a little thing onto their children and pass a little thing onto their nieces. They think of just themselves. And this is my problem with people like that. They just care about themselves. Where somebody like me and most people that think where I would imagine, they would prefer to see their countrymen and women doing far better. And then, you up here, you've got 100 billion or whatever. Nobody cares because look around, everybody's happy. Because they can afford food, they can afford the house they like, they can afford a car, they can afford... and they think, when I die, I can pass something on to my children. You're still 100 billion.
Do you remember when you said that, like, would we, like, let's say, for example, like, you started a business and you started making that business grow and you became very, very successful and you became a millionaire, for example. Would you give half of that to charity after?
No, I wouldn't give half of it to charity. No, I doubt it very much.
True, because obviously you'll pass it down to your kids, to your grandkids. I mean,
I'm sure I would give some to charity, but...
You give some to charity as well. But at the same time, like, I feel like, okay, the stigmatization, like I said, I understand what... Like I said, I understand why billionaires kind of have like a I won't say a bad reputation, but I feel like, do we expect more from them compared to, I don't know, are we expecting more from billionaires compared to what we expect from even governments, for example? Because I feel like there's certain things that government's supposed to be taking care of, but they don't do that. That other entrepreneurs are having to do it and becoming very wealthy from it. You know where I'm coming from. So at the same time, I don't know.
And billionaires are paying government officials,
Of course,
so they can get
more tax breaks and less regulation, so they can carry on making more money as well.
And I have no problem with anybody making money.
No, of course.
Anybody being a billionaire. My only problem is when you see the wealth gap up here to down here.
Oh, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Any human being with any kind of something in their heart can look at that and say, you know something?
The gap is insane.
I understand he's worked hard for his.
Yeah.
But guess what? This person down here, they're working 60, 70, 80, 90 hours a week and they can't afford bread.
No.
So don't tell me he ain't working hard.
True.
Because he's working hard. And there's 24 hours in a day.
True.
Doesn't matter how hard and Elon works, I only sleep 4 hours. There's many people out there.
Yeah.
There's many taxi drivers out there.
Yeah.
There's many truck drivers out there.
100.
That is sleeping 4, 5, 6 hours. So they're working hard too. So don't give me the stuff that, well, they're working so hard, they deserve that. You guys are lazy. Nah, these people down here are working 3, 4 jobs or whatever just to make ends meet. That's my problem with it. You're working hard, but you're not working harder than everybody in such a way that, they're not lazy. People work 40, 50 hours, 60 hours, 70 hours a week. They're not seeing their kids grow because they've got to, and they still struggle. True. That's just my problem with what's going on.
And the reason why I had a bit of a pushback there, because I feel like, for example, like when it comes to like more of these very successful people, individuals that we have around the world, like Trump, for example, they will have a lot of businesses, a lot of business, a lot of industries that they started, and they would have employed thousands of people.
Yeah.
And which means that yes, they might not be necessarily going into the community and helping people that are poor, but at the same time they're employing so many people that they also, I don't know, they're also holding the lives of a lot of people and a lot of families out there as well. And without them, there'd be even more. I think there'd be even more poverty than what there is now.
You know what I find amazing though is how you start a business from nothing, and now you're worth millions, and you've got 100 employees. Yeah. Get rid of 97 of those employees, and you've got 3. Do you think you still make the millions?
No.
No, because you need 100 people to make the millions.
No, you do.
So without this workforce, you don't have the millions.
No.
Yeah?
No.
So when you look at it like that, there has to be a certain amount of respect to say, without them, I can't have this. No. So because I can have this, there should be a certain amount of appreciation. But corporate Britain, corporate America, corporate lacks that. You know, without them, we have no business. Without millions of people around the world, there is no Amazon.
No, but this is what we end up having to have, even like companies going to China. But for that same situation you just said there. So for example, a CEO would be like, okay, I want to be able to make more goods, create more, more services, but at the same time, this is costing me more money. Yeah. Because I'm having to pay more people here a higher wage to be able to make sure I can carry on doing this. When I can actually go over there and get it more cheaper, pay those people less money.
So they make bigger profits.
So they can...
It's not that they make profits, so they make bigger profits. Because they're making profits.
Yeah. Relative to what they expect.
Relative to what they expect?
Yeah, relative to what they expect.
You know something? Yeah. And this, I believe, is a part of the wonderful qualities of human beings, but at the same time, it's like a kryptonite. It's part of the quality of human beings that I think is going to make us fall. This individualistic, I want to accomplish me. I want to be remembered in 1,000 years. Me and my daughter was having this conversation recently, and I said to her, and with all honesty, I said to her, I said, you know something? I live in the now.
Yeah.
So I share with people who I care about. I care about them. I spend time with them. I talk to them. I do whatever I want to do. And when I move on, I don't want to be remembered, because I want you to remember me now. When I'm going, Bobby talked to his kids, and 200 years later, they're still talking about me. My ego don't need anybody to talk about me 1,000 years from now. There's been billions of people that's come before me, and we don't talk about them. We don't talk about the ones that did bad things and got written in books as doing good things. They're the ones that get remembered, but they get remembered in a lie kind of way, because they did bad things, but they, you know what I'm saying? So the whole idea of, I want to be remembered, I just want to be able to live now, show my love now, be respectful now, do that now, and don't wait for me to die to kind of say, when I die, these things will happen and this will happen. No, I'm doing it now.
No, true. No, definitely. And even talking of death, but in a different way. But like the other topic I wanted to speak to you about as well, to do with the knife crime issue that's happening in the UK right now. So far, I think they've had like I think there's like been 19 stabbings already so far, and
19 stabbings this year.
This year, I think. Yeah, I got to think back on my stats here. This is in the UK alone, right? So in London, I think they had about 4. And in another part of the country, in Birmingham, they had another 2, and actually that I read recently, another one in Manchester as well. But I'll be able to see if I can put the stats out on there as well, so you guys can see. But yes, it's crazy. And 2 days ago, there were some conviction that happened. There were I sent you a video of it. There was one. The first one was a young girl, 17, went back to go and give a scarf to her ex-boyfriend. That was a boyfriend at that time, but became an ex-boyfriend. And the guy took it the wrong way, stabbed the girl to death.
The ex-boyfriend?
The ex-boyfriend stabbed the girl to death. And he got convicted for that as well. And I think he got something like 18 years in youth detention or something like that as well, because it was under the age of 18. And also another gang in London as well. 4 individuals, a ringleader, I think was a girl, and 3 other individuals as well that were part of this this ambush. Decided to go and jump this transgender girl after they invited her to go and meet them at near a skating park somewhere, and stabbed the girl. Translate the girl to nearly to death, but in the same time, the individual survived, and they also got manslaughter as well. 18 years, 16 years, 15 years, and I'm like, and I said all of them were under the age of 18 as well. And
lots of youth with nothing to do.
I was like, what is wrong? What literally, like, I don't know, like, we never went
lack guidance.
Not just lack guidance.
There's nothing to do. They go out there. If you don't find love in your home and respect in your home and something to keep you in your home, you're going to find that somewhere else. These young people are finding in gangs. And what are gangs doing? They're selling dope. This is my territory, so I'm going to protect my territory. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but what I'm saying is that when it's not just one.
Are you saying the gangs are the issues?
I'm saying when you look at the structure where the kids are coming from, when you look at out in society what's available for the kids, when you look at where their energy is being targeted, is there things that are available for them to do with that energy? Not really. So they take that energy in a very negative way.
Sure,
you know something, and when young people have things to do, something meaningful that makes them feel like they have purpose of some kind of purpose, they will follow a positive road. When there is nothing like that, they'll follow a negative road.
You know, I heard that as well. Because I was listening to the news, and then if you look on both sides of the spectrum, and sorry guys,
and I'm not saying it's a right or a wrong thing. However, I'm saying, but all over the world, you're going to find gun violence, machete, chop up, knife. You're going to find this, and when you find these things, why are they there?
I feel like, because I feel like the approach to how people trying to like tackle this issue, they either take it from 2 type of angles. One, they will say what you just said there, 100%. They will say, you know what, we need to have, especially the left will say that we need to be able to have more community centers, more social programs, more community programs where kids are actually having to do more things, youth centers and stuff like that, and more opportunities as well. So I have less austerity than the previous more conservative government had it in place as well, which would also reduce the issue of poverty, which pushes kids to go and join these gangs and stuff like that as well. But then the right will also to say that no, that's not really the case. The situation, how to fix this issue is by actually having more tough laws to make sure that, let's say for example, and tough ways of policing as well. So let's have more stop and search everywhere, even more invasive stop and search than before. Let's have cameras actually everywhere around the country. Like, you know how the UK is actually the most surveilled country
with
in the world.
CCTVs.
There's CCTV cameras everywhere.
And yet the crime rate is high. With all the CCTV, the crime rate is still high.
Because
you know what I'm saying?
Not people care. They cover their faces nowadays as well. So like,
I'm saying, if you commit the crime, fling the book at you.
True.
If you commit the crime, the book should be flung at you.
It should be higher then.
But what I'm saying is that you're gonna fling the book. America's got 2.5 million people in prisons.
Yeah, that's insulting.
Yeah, you have to look at, if I'm letting everybody know, if you commit the crime, you're going to jail for whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
What's taking place? Why they would want to be involved in that in the first place? What's happening in their life, in society, in young people's life? Go into a young person's brain. What's going on with them? Why they would want to be in a gang? What's the benefit of being in a gang? Is there any other way of them getting that benefit they get from a gang somewhere else? That's what I'm talking about.
True.
If you commit the crime, go to jail. Well, whatever, 20 years, 50 years, it doesn't make a difference. Whatever the penalties for that crime that you've done.
True.
But I'm saying, before they commit the crime, don't wait for them to commit the crime and fling the book. Is there any interventions that can take place before the crime? Don't wait for the crime.
True.
Don't wait for someone to lose their life.
Well, of course, but this is what we have, like laws to be able to deter people from doing certain things. So, for example, if you know that if you kill somebody, if you stop somebody, there's like a certain amount of time you're gonna be able to serve in jail for. So, at the same time, it's like, should we make those? So I don't know. Should we increase how long you, for example, for even like children, as people carrying knives, should that be? Should they have like a higher sentence?
Years ago, when they had hanging,
it
didn't prevent crime. Why were people committing crime? When they had hanging, when they were chopping people's heads off, it didn't stop crime.
It didn't stop crime.
When they're chopping your head, it didn't stop crime.
No.
Why were they becoming criminals? What was happening for them to go and steal whatever they were stealing? True. Why were they you see what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what the penalty is.
No, but because
criminals.
Because people are blaming the music. They say no, it's the dual music that's in the UK right now. Is the parents that are at fault, or is the community, like you just said there earlier, like the community that gives nothing for people, for them to be able to actually go on.
So let's start with what you just said there. If the community gives nothing, I don't know 100%, but I'm just saying from what you just said there. True. If the community gives nothing, let's start there.
But isn't the community's job for you to give you anything? In Africa,
do you want to feel safe in your community?
No, the communities in Africa, for example, more poor than in the UK. Like even in Jamaica, for example, more poor than in the UK. They don't kill themselves. The kids don't stab themselves at this rate the way they're stabbing themselves here. Not at the same rate. Not at the same rate. I would love to see that stat, but not at the same rate. But at the same time, like right now, when it comes to like the way kids feel like it's normal, like for them to be able to go on, and I understand, like yes, in some way people say the music also doesn't really help the way it just it kind of like glorify the music, but we've always had rap music in the past. We've always had different type of music in the past that were able to like that was about violence and so on. We have movies, by the way. Most of the movies that are out there to do with violence anyway. And
them games that people are playing, them video games or whatever.
Video games, exactly. Video games as well.
You have to peel back that onion, and as you peel back that onion, it doesn't matter if you start. You know something, and I don't remember this crime that this guy did in America, but you know something, he got like 100 years or 120 years.
100. Oh yeah, because over there you can have like different type of you can have like a 20 counts of life or so.
All this kind of stuff. Like 120 years. Man,
Jesus.
He's probably got about 20 more years to live, but his sentence is 120. So I'm saying to make the actual sentence does not deter. So people on the right, people on the left, and they always use these things to get people confused. Oh, you're right, you're left, you're up, you're down. It doesn't matter what the sentencing is. Say, if you commit a crime in this country, you're going to get 100 years. You think crime's just going to stop? Of course crime's not going to stop. You have to look at why are people committing crimes. And for some people, maybe it's just like their nature. Maybe it's just their nature. Not everybody's a good person.
True, but I feel like don't. I feel like some of these kids as well, because obviously I'm sure you understand. You know these terminologies when people say like the nanny state.
Yeah.
And Big Brother.
Yeah.
So the nanny state's supposed to cuddle you and look after you, right? Make sure give you the benefit system that you need, all the social programs that you need. But Big Brother is there to be able to surveil you and also to give you some tough love and tell you, okay, this is where you're going wrong. You need a bit more discipline, and this is what you have to be able to do to be able to achieve a particular type of goal. And I feel like right now, when it comes to these kids that are having to do this, most of the time we kind of baby them in some way. We try to we even the youth prisons. They have video games. You have video games in prison. Go to Africa and show a prisoner. Show I got a video game in my prison. You'd be like, mate, this is like prison's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's almost like we're making the prison so comfortable as well that it's not really...
Nanny state, eh?
Go on.
Nanny state. Kids need some discipline. Who used to give kids discipline? Bobby, let me tell you something. I used to get some whoopings me because I'm a little naughty lad. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little naughty lad. You know, with Jamaican parents, Jamaican mother, don't be messing with her. You know what I'm saying? I used to get disciplined. That generation used to get disciplined.
Of course.
But as time has gone by, we've had this conversation before, and where it says how tough men create a soft society. And those tough men became tough men because when they stepped out of line, their father, their uncle, their next door neighbor put their ass in line with a belt or sometimes a fist. But in this day and age, it's child abuse. So we get into stuff, it's child abuse. And don't get me wrong, I understand what they're saying because some of those parents was abusing their children. A lot of them weren't. They were disciplining their children. So you can't, because 1 and 2 are abusers.
Some kids do need to get You're
damn right, some of them need a belt to their behind. You're damn right, mate.
Get beaten as well a little bit.
This is the nanny state.
But I feel like, it's to a certain degree.
To a certain degree.
Yes, but I feel like, but at the same time,
unless you know something,
they went to the extreme and said no to everything.
None to it.
No, that didn't help.
When I was 10 years old, they had a thing called corporal punishment. You get out of line in school.
True.
Ooh, was a bit harsh because some teachers was taking advantage, and because some teachers was taking advantage, they banned all of it. Some parents was taking advantage. We're going to stop all of it, and because of all of that, those strong men, those tough men, created a softer society.
No, true.
Where we don't need to be as tough. We don't want you men spanking your son. The state will, we'll make everything nice in school, and we'll make everything nice and cushiony, and when they fall, there'll be a pillow there waiting for them. And look where it's led. I'm not saying gangs have always existed through time, but the way that they are now, the amount of gangs that they are now, I don't think that they've ever seen it quite like this before.
No. It's gone out of control. It's definitely.
A lot of the young people lack a bit of discipline, and I'm not saying to go out there and abuse young people, that's not what I'm saying.
No.
I'm just saying young people feel that they can have no respect for anybody, not their parents, not the police, not teachers, not anybody. And there was a time that you used to have respect for your elders, you used to have respect for being a school teacher. It's a respectful profession. Kids would respect a school teacher, respect a professor. They don't give a shit now, mate. They don't give a shit.
No, but I feel they also disenfranchised as well in the whole community as well. I feel like in terms of like you said that there's not really any, because I'm looking at it like right now, the new Prime Minister that we have, what program is he bringing out there for young kids to be excited about? It's nothing.
That's not their concern.
There's nothing, and I feel like, and even like within the community itself as well, you expect to have like new, I don't know, new activities happening around the community to be able to get people more engaged. But there isn't anything.
There isn't anything. And when there isn't anything, what do people do? People find naughty things to do. Exactly. Naughty people, the good ones will still be good, but naughty kids find naughty things to do because there is nothing else to kind of keep them occupied.
True. But also, let's talk about the parents a little bit, because I feel like parents also need to take a bit of responsibility as well. And also, come on, guys, give us a bit of feedback on this one, because I don't get how you cannot know where your child is certain time of the day, and if your child is holding a knife, like there's something that went wrong there. You know, coming from, and I feel like, for example, a person that I feel like maybe I can only give my own personal opinion and experience, but I feel like for me, I feel like religion played a big part early when I was younger. The fact that our parents were very religious, and I don't know, you have a bit of that fear in God that, you know what, if you do something bad, you're gonna go to hell. All these things, it kind of like made you.
So instead of having a prison fear, you're having a God fear.
Yeah, God fear, you know what I mean? It's like, no, I don't want to be burning in hell for the rest of my life. No, that's not going to happen. And also, like, being a parent is not easy.
It's tough, mate.
And I feel like right now we're having people that are having children that are not ready to be parents.
Yeah.
And because of that as well, it's like you're not really paying attention to what your kids are being exposed to. You're not paying attention to what your kids are listening to or who their friends are. So therefore, like, when the kids are starting to go on and starting crazy things, even the parents are shocked. Like, how can you be shocked that your child did that? You should know your child better than anyone.
Have you been observing your childhood?
Exactly.
Because all the signs are always there.
Yeah, exactly. So at the same time, like, if your child goes and stabs somebody, like, there's something that terribly went wrong there. Yeah. So then I feel like, and especially nowadays as well, like when it comes to like, even one of my friends was saying like, most parents nowadays, what they do is they just give a tablet. Like, you don't do the whole TV thing at your home. But
yeah, when my daughter was young, yeah, we didn't do all that.
It's just like now, just like, oh, the parents just like there's a screen, watch TV, and they were trying to see if they can give him what. Obviously, they'll still love the child. Yeah. They'll give them everything that they do, but they sometimes like the whole sitting there, speaking to the child, teaching the child everything else they need to do, and sometimes as well, even certain parents. And it's kind of sad as well, but it's also because of the situation as well, in terms of poverty as well, like, because you're having to work, the kids are spending more time in school with teachers or with carers than they are spending with their own actual parents as well, because the parents are having to go to work as well, which is crazy.
Yeah, and like I said, and their parents are having to go to work a night job. And a day job,
yes,
and a little coffee shop job. Why would they need to work night job and a day job and a coffee shop job?
Because the one job doesn't pay enough. You need 4 different jobs.
Why doesn't the one job pay enough? Because they want the bigger margins.
That's true.
The circle come round.
That's true. That's true.
The circle come round.
It does.
So they need to work every hour just to keep a roof over their head and food at their belly.
No, it's sad.
But if they were working 37 hours or 40 hours a week, they'd be home with their family all the time.
No, true. No,
but they don't want you to be home with your family all the time. We want to control you, so we want you working all the time so we can control your kids. We can indoctrinate your children how we want to indoctrinate your children. So all of this is a part and parcel of what is happening in society.
True.
If this was a loving, caring society, they would say our citizens come first.
No.
What can we do to make our citizens happy? And look at countries, and there's a few, I think it's like Finland, Denmark, and there's a few there where citizens come first. Healthcare, education is all free. In kindergarten, they teach them practical skills that's going to help them in life, not recite something that's of no relevance whatsoever. They teach them to cook, they teach them to sew, they teach them to... Look at societies like that, you see a completely different thing than to societies where they don't really care about the people. They'll say they care about you, but if you care about them, they should be able to, and I'm not saying have one job and wow, they're driving a £50,000 car. I'm not talking about that. Having one job where you can pay your bills, pay your light bills, put food on the table. The kids need shoes because they got to hold it. You buy them shoes.
True.
Something as simple as that. There was a time that you could do that with the one job.
No, true.
Now, the greed is so far. Because they were, we're making this profits, but wouldn't it be great to make that profits? And for them to make that profit, they have to take it from somewhere.
Us.
They have to take it from somewhere.
Yeah.
And this place that they're taking it from is having effect within the community. Because now I'm not earning enough, so I'm going to go and get another little part-time job, While I'm doing that, what's my little son doing? You don't know because you've got to provide for your son.
No, of course. No, of course.
So it goes back to what I was saying before about, I don't care that you're, however rich you are, but when you're that rich and you look at people in your community, in your country, that you go, these are my American citizens, my British citizens, my Kenyan citizens, and you're looking at them and they're miserable and they're unhappy and they're starving and you feel good about that because you have 400 billion, 500 billion, 100 billion, and you look at your fellow human beings. Now, I'm not talking about looking at your fellow human beings in another country. I'm talking about your own country.
Not true.
And they're all starving. And they're living in their cars. And they're living on the street. And they have to go in a dustbin to find a little thing to eat. And somehow that's okay because they're lazy and you're working that hard. I don't buy that shit, mate. I don't buy that shit. So when you really look at all of it and then, why are these kids doing this? The eyes that need to be on them, the belt that need to be on them isn't there because society has created something for it not to be there.
Yes.
They're always working.
So we've gone too soft basically as society.
We've gone too soft, we've taken too much from down here and given it up there, and we've not looked at society and says, society first.
Not true.
We want good communities, we want smart, intelligent children, we want healthy children, we're going to show them how to have their little vegetable patch, grow their own little vegetables, so it could be a healthy system. They don't want that. All they're focused on is the profits.
True.
And because the focus is just on the profits, we see what we see.
No.
But everybody it's him over that side and that side and that side and that side. When you look at the whole picture, it's human greed because these young people here ain't got nothing to do, ain't got nowhere to go. This little gangbanger over here is recruiting people and he's thinking, well, I ain't got nothing to do, mate.
Not true.
But in order for you to be in the gang, you've got to go out there and do a little something for you to kind of, you're one of us now. And that's how gangs normally work.
Of course.
You got to kind of do a little, shoot somebody or do a little something to be a part of that gang.
Of course.
If they had other things to occupy them, whatever those things may be, other than something negative, we as a society is going to say that the negativity that's drawing these people into them is better than, what's the alternative? What's these young people's alternative?
No,
there should be something positive for them to kind of say, you know something, I can go over here and I can learn how to be a man, I can learn how to be a good human, I can learn how to... No, in societies nowadays. So they gravitate towards quick money, quick this, quick that, me the ego, me Billy Big Bollocks or whatever the case may be. They go there because where else are they going to go?
And it's the thing as well, and that's the thing. And if you are in poverty as well, even though it's not comparable to like in places like in Africa or even in Asia, but at the same time, if people struggle, they're gonna go to the best way to be able to make money. And obviously, gangs always been even. I remember even watching a documentary with Tupac. Tupac was talking about how when he first joined the gang, it was like because he made him feel as part of a brotherhood, made him feel part of a community.
Yeah, he was never really a gangbanger. He'll actually have that talk and like say, but he's an intellectual. Tupac's an intellectual because his mother's an intellectual because she was a part of the Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Yeah, and but he tried to. You're not a gangbanger, mate. I understand you want to market yourself, but you're not a gangbanger. Your mother was an intellectual. She taught you from a very young age. You're an intellectual, a positive. So you went into the gang thing. No. His mother wouldn't allow him because she had eyes on him and a belt on his ass. So she wouldn't allow him in that gang thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because the Black Panther Party movement was a very positive movement for black people. Okay. California, Oakland, all over America, lift ourselves up.
True. Defend
for ourselves. So that wasn't about gang and shooting and killing.
No.
Shh, I missed the package, you know. But you know what I'm saying? It comes full circle when you really look at it.
No, but true. But it makes him feel like I said, like those guys look after those little whoever that joins those particular gangs and because they make them feel like it's part of a brotherhood in some way. But at the same time, obviously, it also leads them the wrong way as well.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like
so there needs to be an alternative where you can find a brotherhood, but in a positive way. Yeah. Because the gang is the brotherhood in a negative way. There should be an alternative, but the problem is there is no alternative. And because there is no alternative, we tend to look at people and say, for one thing, there's many hands in the pie. No. Why things are the way that they are. this country had enough wealth to spread the wealth, but this is the UK. In the UK, they don't talk about the class system or the caste system. It's always been the rich against the poor.
No.
You know.
Of course, the class system is always been. But that should be the topic for the next one. The next topic we'll talk about this. We'll be talking about class issues as well. But thanks for today, though.
Yeah.
It's been interesting, and hopefully Donald Trump does what he says he's going to do.
Hopefully.
And this will be an interesting year. I think it'll be an interesting year.
I think it's going to be a very interesting year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to say because there's a lot of kind of things that's still in the mix, you know, and
no, true.
There's a lot of things still. You know what's funny though? But did you ever see that Cat Williams podcast that he did with Shannon Sharp, where he was talking about 2024, it's all coming out, and then all these things are unraveling, and next minute Trump is president again. So 2024 up into 2025 is going to be it. It's going to be quite a year.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
We need to buckle up and make sure that we're ready for it. Well, it's going to be interesting. And leave us some comments as well. And
definitely
hit the like button. And I hope you enjoyed the episode today. And I'll see you guys again next time. Save.